What is poppin', y'all? Bailey Strasser here, another episode of Wisco Sports Weekly. The hangover for the Brewers clinching the spot in the NLCS to face the Dodgers tomorrow was a good enough hangover, but unfortunately for the Packers, it really was, the bye week was not much of a hangover, and I know the Packers have always struggled after bye week, but nothing has changed after bye week. And when I say nothing has changed, I'm starting to really see how much we really should have emphasized our secondary in this draft. I know we needed receivers. I know we needed some offensive linemen. We really bolstered up that. But the problem is that didn't really help because truthfully, our offensive line has not been that good. And you know what? I think they need to use those rookie receivers more. Because truthfully, I think Matthew Golden is going to be great. I can see it in him already. He's going to be a stud. And maybe, they'll work Savion Williams in there to see. I know they're not really giving him a whole lot, but that is crazy. And then you're going to get Christian Watson back and Jaden Reed back at some point in the middle of the season. Makes you think, what the heck are they going to do at receiver? I was literally saying they might actually have a case to trade Romeo Doubs to Pittsburgh. I mean, it's obvious, but again, why would they do that? It's stupid. Again, the Packers started out great. They were pressuring Flacco. He was forced to make some throws, and it was hard, and I'm like, okay, this is great, but a lot of those throws were just shimmies, and they weren't really much. And the Packers had their chances. They went right down the field. They should have been able to score maybe at least a field goal, and Love decides to force a pass. It gets deflected in the air, and it's an interception. That all isn't on Jordan Love. Other than that, I mean, he played good. I give you credit. 19 out of 26, 259 yards, a touchdown and an interception, 7 carries for 26. Jordan Love did do he did do good. I will say that. Elsewhere, I mean, some other guys did produce, and I'll give the game ball to Josh Jacobs. 18 carries, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Even Emmanuel Wilson got a couple carries. Matthew Golden led the way, 3 catches for 86 yards. Josh Jacobs also had 5 catches for 57 yards. I really want to see Josh Jacobs more in the back, get catches, because he's good. He's good. Doubs, 5 for 55. Tucker Kraft, 2 for 43, and the only touchdown in the air. Ontavian Wicks, 2 for 15. Musgrave, a catch for 7. That's good. The defense, not so good, but Edgerrin Cooper also had a good, decent day. 11 tackles. Quay Walker had 8. Evan Williams had 7. Keyshawn Nixon, 2 passes defended. Carrington Valentine had 1. The only sack of the day belonged to Lucas Van Ness before he got carted off with an injury. Javon Bullard also left with a concussion once again because that keeps happening to him. And our new kicker, Lucas Haversick, because of a Brandon McManus injury, managed to go 2 for 2 on the day. I guess that's a good thing to see. Cincinnati, on the other hand, Joe Flacco, 29 of 45, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, only sacked once. Chase Brown, 9 carries for 42 yards and 2 catches for 7. Samaje Perine, 6 for 16 and 2 catches for 16. Jamar Chase is equally the best wide receiver in football. 10 catches, 94 yards, touchdown. 5 catches for 62 for T. Higgins, 4 for 27 for Fant, and 4 for 10 for Tanner Hudson and the other touchdown. On the defensive side, Barrett Carter led the day with 10 tackles. Dax Hill had 9. The sack and the interception belonged to Geno Stone on the day. And their kicker did not have a great game. However, one of his kicks was a 67-yard attempt to end the half, so I'll give him benefit on the doubt. But he went 1 of 3. McPherson basically missed a kick that would have kept the game alive for the Bengals to try to get a comeback win. I'll say one thing. They had some good stuff in the first half, but the defense completely fell apart and looked exactly how they did 2 weeks ago. I don't know what it is, but I think I stand for us all. Our defense, when we can't pressure people, is terrible. When we can't pressure people, we do not have a secondary good enough to defend anybody. That is why look at the Ravens. Because the Ravens, despite the Ravens having such a stacked secondary of stars, their defense is terrible because they have one of the worst pass rushes in the league. When you don't have a pass rush, that's what's going to happen. And again, the second half proved, this is the Bengals, a team whose offensive line is so bad, and you couldn't even get Micah Parsons open for a sack. You only got one sack because it was a blown one-on-one type deal. This is not good. We've only committed 2 turnovers on the season. Something that the Packers were able to do very well last year, get turnovers. This is not pretty football for the Packers. And a lot of people are probably going to start to panic. Yes, we may have won this game based on Jordan Love actually showcasing and doing some stuff. But man, I am very, very pleased with, I'm very pleased with what's going to happen. Next week, I believe, will be a huge trap game because they face Aaron Rodgers in 2 weeks. If we play the way that we did this week, Aaron Rodgers is going to smoke us. And I don't want to say that, but we need to really get back on our A game. Because, truthfully, the way Aaron Rodgers has looked with Pittsburgh, man, he's really feeling great. We're going to go into Pittsburgh on primetime Sunday Night Football. It ain't going to be good. This is a big game next week. Kyler Murray might not even play, so this is even bigger. We're going into Arizona. A lot can happen, a lot at stake. I think this is a noon game, so I'm not going to be too worried. But again, if we need to really get back on ourselves, we need to play the way that we played those first 2 weeks. I know we're capable of it. I know we can be capable of it. Don't worry about it. We're 3-1-1. We are still undefeated at home. We're still in a good position. We don't know what's going to happen. But again, let's stay positive and hope for the best. If you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and as always, we will see you next time. Go Pack, go!